Hey, what's up? My name's Grant Kanoki. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer, and artist, and you're listening to Power 98.5.
We don't play the social game. We are social. Power 98.5. You're listening to Power 98.5, powered by United Angels Dream, your #1 resource for public relations, entertainment, and multimedia. Contact them today at unitedangelsdream.com.
Hi, this is Dan Aykroyd. He's progressive. He's beautiful. He's thoughtful. He's intelligent. He's powerful. He's positive. He is Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio.
Empowering listeners from the US to the UK. Live on air with Stephen Cuoco.
Well, wouldn't you know, my dear friend Christian Sesma is here with us today, director, producer, writer.
Keep going. Just keep going. I'm kidding. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Extraordinaire.
No. Taco maker. We could put taco maker.
Taco maker. Someone who better fucking be winning Grammys and Oscars or whatever else. Well, hey, you never know. You can end up doing your own music down the road. But Oscars, Emmys, he should be winning all the awards.
Disneyland passes, all of it. All of it.
Absolutely, man. You deserve it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in live on air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5. We got, like I said, Christian Sesma, every last one of them. Have you not heard about this film? Get over to his Instagram right away, SESKRI, every last one of them, starring Paul Sloan, Jake Weber, Taryn Manning, love her, Mike Hatton, Michael Madsen, and Richard Dreyfuss. What a legend. What a lineup.
Legendary lineup. Yeah. Super excited about it.
How did you put this together?
Well, technically, I mean, really, my producing partner, Mike Hatton, was able to put this power team together. We were part of our production companies were probably one of the only ones to really be working the way we have been working during the pandemic. We were one of the first ones in the state of California. I don't know anywhere else that got to shoot like in July, right at the height when everything was it was shut down, everything was going, and it was like us, this, indie movie and then a Michael Bay movie. Those are the only two movies that we're shooting during the pandemic, and that's my other movie, Take Back, that comes out in June with like Mickey Rourke and Michael Jai White and stuff. And the same financing company, sales company, 101 Films International out of the UK, really kind of put their balls on the line and was like, let's do it. We trust these guys. They can pull it off. And, we did. And then they were able to do the second one and put every last one of them together, which, I always say is a much more, I would almost say like an art house action film, which is really, really crazy. Even though the trailer seems crazy bananas action, which it is, I think it's kind of some of my more like emotionally raw work, so, Mike Hatton was able to put that together and put that cast together for me, which was a dream. And Paul Sloan is one of our best friends. We've been working with him for a long time as a collaborator. It was great to kind of give him, his own movie to shine as the lead and surround him with just legends,
Yeah, I watched the trailer, and I'm going to tell you, I love Taryn. I'm going to tell you, you guys would have been screwed without her. She's
amazing. Oh, yeah. And what's funny is, small world, like Taryn lives here in Palm Springs. I live in Palm Springs, right? Born and raised. I went to school in San Diego, but I live here. Family's here. And Taryn moved here maybe about, a couple years ago. And so the same gym that I go to, a buddy of mine owns a private gym. His name's Jaime. Jaime Jimenez, 111 Conditioning. What's up? All of a sudden I walk in and Taryn Manning's like working out in the corner. And I'm like, what is she doing here? I'm used to running into everybody in LA, but not locally. And, one of the other trainers there, JR, he was able to kind of make an intro. And I've always wanted to work with Taryn for years. I've been a huge fan, obviously, Hustle and Flow, everything like that. And, we were able to kind of get it together. And, and I was like, hey, I'm about to do this crazy indie here, shot locally in the Coachella Valley. Let's do it. And she was game, and she's amazing. She really is amazing.
I'm going to go ahead and I want to play the trailer of every last one of them. For those that are tuning in, we have director, producer, writer, and, there are some things I would love to take out of your bio. Movie geek, you're nowhere near a geek. I would say movie extraordinaire, coffee lover, proud dad, semi-chef, and I'm going to say, you're saying full-time nerd. I'm going to just say a really, really great guy that has himself so together and so well refined that the world is going to welcome you with open arms, Christian.
Thanks, man. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm going to go ahead, and even though you guys can't see it, you're going to be able to hear it. Definitely, go ahead, Google every last one of them. Google Christian Sesma, and you're going to find the trailer. But let's go ahead and pull that up. I want to get that played. So where are you? Here we go. All right.
Hi, Dad. I don't know who else to call anymore. Please call me back.
He said he was looking for his daughter. This town is plagued with missing girls, and I think his daughter's photo's going up next.
I gotta find out what happened to my daughter.
Nichols, do you think they had something to do with it?
Yeah, this crew runs the whole town. Think about it.
He's not gonna stop until you're dead.
Melissa, 19 years old, brunette. You know who it was.
It's a real shame.
I'm here for your son. Tell me where she is right now.
You think Jake Hunter knows something about this?
Yeah, I do. I think that's why he's here.
I didn't want to do anything.
Stop talking. Bobby!
He's out there! Go get that piece of shit!
I want his fucking head!
He's bringing the fight to us. You're up.
Either you kill him or we're killing him.
Jake, you gotta come in.
That's not gonna happen.
What do you want?
Answers. I want to hear it from your mouth. What happened to my daughter?
That man's gonna die, and no one's gonna know the difference. Do something!
Put the gun down.
Let me help you.
You want to help me? Take me to Nichols. Where are you when she needed you? Everyone has to know what they did!
My regards to the tribe.
I'm here.
I don't need a father, I need a dad.
This world is cruel, unforgiving place. Make sure they get what they deserve, every last one of them.
It's a pretty crazy.
You know what? You don't even need to watch it. I recommend to watch the trailer, but just to hear it, you've got to understand exactly the level and intensity and depth and dimension that this film is going to have.
I mean, it's pretty raw. The script, originally was a little bit different, and I think I kind of, really delved into a certain kind of sub story there that, wanted to really make it as real and raw as possible with, this, and kind of elevated into a different kind of action vibe. Really much more like Hell or High Water, Wind River type stuff. I'm a giant Taylor Sheridan fan.
You have. Not to go, actually, before we go into this direction, because I'm looking at your IMDb list, what are the best components, attributes, and aspects about every last one of them that you truly appreciate?
Repeat that one more time.
What what are the best attributes, aspects, and components about this film? Every last one of them that you absolutely appreciate.
I think that the ability to shoot in my backyard is incredible, and really get as creatively, free on the story is something that, I really give a lot of props to, my executives and my producing partners to have that kind of trust that they go, okay, we trust Christian's taste, we trust his writing, we trust where it's going to go. I think that the ability to tell a story with broken people is important. I think everybody has a history, everybody has a journey, and to be able to kind of put that and wrap it in an action movie format is pretty interesting. So it's like you're hooked by the fun action part of it, but I think once you get in there and settle in and people start watching it, hopefully they feel what I was trying to do and put together that, this father is trying to find his daughter, and it's really, his fault and his sins of the father type thing that have affected the next generation. And now she has to go through her stuff and what has happened to her. And he's racked with guilt and, all that stuff. So it's a really interesting journey for this quote unquote hero, but it's really like an anti-hero.
So the top films that are most recent, there's PayDirt, which came out last year.
Yep.
What was the time period between PayDirt and every last one of them? Were you juggling both films at the same time? How were you managing this?
There's one in between that, which is called Take Back. So, we did PayDirt with Luke Goss and Val Kilmer, and, Mike Hatton was in that as well. And Paul Sloan was in that as well. I mean, this is kind of like my little film circle, film family that we like to call ourselves, and, we shot PayDirt in December of 2019, and PayDirt released in August 2020. So before that, we had so we finished up PayDirt. It came out in August, but right before that, we shot Take Back in the summer, which was July, August. So we were shooting Take Back when PayDirt actually released, and then we shot every last one of them November, December of 2020.
And then every last one of them is expected summer. Better be summer to where this film can get launched, because you already know my ass is coming out. I'm coming to the premiere.
Yep.
And then with Take Back, when is that going to be available?
That's going to be June.
So would every last one of them be around May, April?
No, I think every last one of them is going to be after that. It's going to be like July.
Oh, wow. So Take Back's coming out before every last one of them.
Yep. Take Back is absolutely coming out before.
Wow. Hopefully then this would be premiered in LA as well.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to have to come out twice.
There you go.
I'm not kidding. You already know what restaurant I want to go to, too. What's been the best experience in all of your years? What have you learned most about yourself as a person?
Oh, man, resiliency, the ability to take the hits and keep going, right? I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things that I feel like I'm proud of, not just with the amount of work that we've been able to do, but just, the hits of life and in Hollywood and the movie business, they just keep coming, and it's pretty relentless, and it's a very vicious and brutal business to be a part of. And, if you're lucky enough to have been able to kind of get in through the door, sticking around, I think, is even more difficult, So I think the resiliency and really the trust in, my own personal talent and the talent that I've been lucky enough to surround myself with is a big deal. And, I think that to be honest with you, really, you're just living a life of faith, if you will, and belief, that everything is going to keep unfolding the way it should be for your best good. And I think that's been kind of the secret for me, man, is really trusting that, there's a bigger destiny here, and you just gotta know that it's all going to fall into place. They don't call me the Latino Ferris Bueller for nothing.
I like that.
It always just falls into place for Ferris, right? So my buddies always say, "Man, you're like the freaking Mexican Ferris, bro," and I'm like, "Yup."
I've got to remember that. How do you find balance, or is balance already there when it comes to being married, kids, family? Has it always been there, or have you found any challenges along the way to keep the passion and your presence there so that your family doesn't feel that you're too far from absence?
Yeah, I think, look, it's a constant thing, right? Balance is, you're never just on even keel. You're working for that, right? It's kind of like you're always feeling what that is, So I think balance comes, over time and all that stuff. But really, I'll be honest. I mean, if we're being real and raw on Power 98.5, I think that, I've learned how to deal with that thing because, I've been sober for 26 years, man. My life changed quite a bit 26 years ago. And I've been able to kind of, what I feel is like live a very, try to spiritual life as much as I can, trying to work this stuff out because, in this business and the craziness and the egos of it all and learning kind of how I tick and how I work, I understand how to deal with this stuff as best as I can, and like I said, thankfully I have an amazing, wife and amazing friends and unbelievable kids. My kid just gave me a thumbs up. She walked past, she looked at me, she went thumbs up. But I think it's one of those things where you've kind of built a life on these foundations of these principles, and I think it's not like it's not hard. Of course, it's super hard, but you learn how to deal with it. You just learn how to deal with it and roll with it, and grow as much as you can. And I think growing and then growing together as a family, as a couple, as friends, as partners in business, all that stuff, it's crucial.
No regrets, I would say.
No, never. I don't have any.
When it comes to, and I appreciate the transparency, Christian.
Yeah, absolutely. My journey is absolutely transparent, and it's like we all have to embrace our journeys, right? Our journeys are our own, and we gotta be empowered by that, not held back by it.
And you are far, far away, like it's so non-existent of with the sobriety, like that's so far in the past to where is it at? Where does it sit with you?
Oh, it's like 3 lifetimes ago, it's like, it's where I was as a kid or whatever, as a teen. And then that led me to another journey of just, went to school. I mean, it's way back there, but it's given me the foundation of how to go through obstacles in life and, any kind of things that try to kind of hinder my growth, so it's like, it's given me a tool set to just keep grinding and learning and growing and all that good stuff.
What inspired you to get into this business, and how did you really fall into it, especially for those that are tuning in that are so passionate about wanting to get in writing, film, producing, directing? What was the breaking point for you?
Good story here. Everybody buckle in because it's a good one. No, I've always been a movie buff my whole life, always watching movies, always watching TV, always an artist, always writing, things like that. And then, I went in college. I had no idea I was going to be a filmmaker at all. So, in college I would write, I was writing stories, and I got my degree in cultural anthropology. That's what I graduated with. I wanted to teach or be a professor of some kind. So when, we had the family business, which was called Guacamoles in Palm Springs. We had a Mexican restaurant for 30 years. So when I graduated, I was going to come back, franchise the place out, and do some stuff with my dad. And when I came back, my appendix ruptured, and I ended up like super, super, super near death. Right. I was like, they had to open me up. It was septic. It was really bad. And I was hospitalized for a month. So in that hospital bed, I had nothing but time, and I read like Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez had their books out. I mean, like articles out, and Robert Rodriguez had a book out called Rebel Without a Crew, and these were the filmmakers that I loved and were always inspired by. Little did I know that, like, on that hospital bed, I would read whatever it was from like Robert Rodriguez to make me go, wow, it was like the clouds parted and the sky shone down. It was like, why don't you try making a short film? I think you'd be really good at that. Where I got that idea, no clue. But I just decided literally on the hospital that I'm like, I'm going to make a short film. And I think I'll be good at it. And literally a year later, I made a little short film, and it was like, literally like a year later, I was at the Palm Springs International Short Film Festival, which is like this crazy prestigious short film festival, which I feel like I should have never even been in, but whatever. I was in it, and I was like, man, this was amazing. I really had an amazing time doing this. And this short film was really good. People liked it. And that was it. I did another short film after that. And I really was like, wow, I'm good at this. I really love being a filmmaker. And that was all. And after that, I raised like 10, 15 grand to do my very first movie, like full length movie. I like borrowed money from like my aunt, and my dad gave me money for the camera, and I put in some money. And then I got all my friends together, and we made a real movie, a real full length movie called 6:30. And man, it was bought and put out and distributed. It was at Blockbuster and Fry's and all that kind of stuff. So it was just kind of this snowball that once you just go, okay, this is what you're meant to do, and you just run with it, it just started snowballing. And, that hobby has now become my career. And we're like 13 movies later.
And many more.
And many more. And I feel this is just the beginning of my career. I feel like I'm like now beginning my like career. That's literally what I feel.
You don't have to share your age, but you are so much younger. How long have you been in the industry? Really?
I'm 44. Yeah. I'm 44. I mean, I feel like I started late per se, but it's fun. I need to delete that. I didn't start late. I started when I started. And yeah, I mean, I think I did my first movie, like that very first movie, when I was 30, and I did like what I considered my first real independent film that kind of stepped me into the Hollywood game in 2010. So like 10 years ago.
Wow. What would you say to those that are listening? And I want to thank everyone for tuning in live on air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5. Film director, producer, writer, extraordinaire, my dear friend Christian Sesma. What would you like to share in the best advice to help someone in their journey to avoid either a problem or experience you had, or someone that you know or knew who went through, to just make their life easier?
I think it's literally the best advice that I could say is, obviously pick up a camera and just go for it and do it and start creating stories, telling stories, filming things with whoever you can, right? And then also really listen to your gut about toxic people. And I think that's just like a rule of thumb for life, not just for the movie business, but I feel like it's extra for the movie business. It's like stay away from toxic people that are going to waste your time and energy and not support you and your vision. And I think that is that took me a few years to get through. I was, you're so hungry to get into business, you're willing to kind of sacrifice a little bit of who you are just to kind of get ahead. And I feel that now looking back that that's just a waste of time, and it's a waste of energy, and it's not going to really propel you forward the way you think it is. I think staying away from toxic people, toxic environments on any level, it doesn't help your energy at all.
When someone toxic comes to your path, do they know and have common sense to move out of your way real quick, I hope?
I mean, I think now they do. Now they do. Maybe back then they didn't.
So the message is clear.
I think so.
Before we close out, I like to get into talking a little bit about the guacs.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, because it sounds yummy.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. So it's funny. I always say it's like I'm like the indie filmmaking version of like Jon Favreau right now. Like Favreau is just like one of the best directors or filmmakers in the game, but he also loves food, right? He also has like, he made that movie Chef, and he has like the Chef show on Netflix. And I grew up in the restaurant business, and we had guacamoles in Palm Springs for 30 years. And so my dad retired a few years ago and sold the restaurant. And I was like, wait, what? Okay, fine. I'm going to, pick up the mantle where they dropped the ball on and continue that, from myself and my family, my daughters, of the legacy. And it's so important to like create a legacy and a culture for your family and for, your kids if you have them or whatever. But, I was able to kind of take up that mantle, create, a new version of that, an elevated version of that, like, Guacamole's 2.0, and follow us on Instagram at Guac's Pop-Up, at Guac's Pop-Up. You'll see that on my Instagram page at Sesma, then I'll have like owner Guac's Pop-Up. But, we do pop-ups and, kind of like new spin-off versions of the dishes that were like 30-year legends and classics in the Palm Springs area. And, it's a great way for me to express our culture and the legacy that we had and in new ways of creating dishes. And it's just like a secondary art form in between filmmaking and cooking. It's a blast. And I really, really, really enjoy it. And, if I travel, I get to do a pop-up wherever I travel to making movies. Like I did a pop-up in, Louisiana when I was out there, and that was fun. So it's just it's a really fun way to kind of spread the culture, spread the legacy, and keep the name going and what we went through.
Where's the manufacturing?
With that, we work out of a commissary here in the Palm Springs area.
That's awesome.
Uh-huh.
So you're in there, or you have a team. They're always inspecting, quality control. They know exactly what's going on, everything.
All the time. Yep, absolutely.
That's brilliant. We have a Micheal's spaghetti sauce. I went to the grocery store, and I usually make mine homemade. This time around, I thought, you know what? Usually I'm not into those can, companies or bottled, glass companies, whatever. So I saw on the top shelf, Micheal's, and it just caught my eye. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and spend the money. This isn't a 99-cent sale thing. This isn't a $1.99. I mean, this was substantial for one jar. But I'm going to tell you, it was so worth it. I loved it so much. It was so fresh. I couldn't believe it. Local, out of Brooklyn. I called up the company and talked to the chef, the owner, the guy. And he's shipping me out a case with some T-shirts and stuff. But here's the thing. Awesome. My whole point for that, though, is it's wonderful to find, locally sourced companies like Micheal's, his sauce, like Guac's, like your company with the Guac Pop-Up. Because it's like you guys are there. You know what's going on. It's there's no mistaking of what's happening here. And you really feel like not only you part of the community, whether you live in that state or area, but you feel like, at least here in the States, like you're really helping your fellow American. Right.
I think so. I mean, it's great to be able to share these flavors and this legacy with, our community. And, what we're doing here is like, we're using all, like, Palm Springs, people don't realize that the Coachella Valley is a massive agricultural area, right? There's farms and huge amounts of agriculture in the East Valley of here. So we get to really do a pick a litter of, fresh farm to table, locally sourced organic stuff for these things. So it's really, really amazing.
And you ship throughout the U.S.?
No, not yet. We haven't got there yet. I mean, we're working on that. So right now it's all local and in state. So in California, we can do drop shipping because they need to be refrigerated.
Oh, so if I wanted something out here, I wouldn't be able to order it?
Not yet.
Well, I don't need to. Why? I'm coming out for 2 premieres.
There you go. There you go.
Every last one of them will be out this summer.
Yeah, this summer. Yep.
Red carpet. I will be there. Christian is going to be helping me out. I'm going to come on out. We're going to be getting photos. I'm going to be sharing with you guys my experience. Christian and I are going to get a photo. He is a director, producer, former restaurateur, writer, an all-around incredible father, husband, and an overall phenomenal man. When someone were to come to the Palm Springs area, where can they find to purchase your guacs, and what would be the number one or best-selling flavor in California?
You can go on Guacs pop up on IG, and they'll have a new list of different vendors in the Palm Springs area, different coffee shops, different little niche markets, things like that. But I think the guac cilantro dressing has been like a legendary icon dressing in the Valley for a long time. And that's really what, it was really known for in the restaurant. So we keep that going, and now we have it available for everybody. So you can pick that up. It's like a multi-purpose. It started off as a salad dressing, but everybody started seeing that you could put it on rice, pasta salad, dip it in veggies, put it on meats and seafood. So it's like this all-purpose sauce that's incredible.
Well, you did say in the beginning, Christian, that I heard the word tacos, but I'm going to add extraordinaire onto that. I'm going to be looking forward to a home-cooked meal.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Come over. We will rock some tacos out.
Absolutely. What's your cocktail of choice?
None. Actually, that's why.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, I didn't want to get too personal.
Soda water with lime is kind of my thing.
Okay. You never know. I didn't want to ask too much.
No. It's no big deal. No big deal. Okay. Pellegrino with lime.
Okay. Who would you like to give a shout out to?
Oh man, I mean everybody. My producing partners, my family, my wife, my kids, the whole thing. Everybody that we make movies with is really an incredible team. Mike Hatton, Paul Sloan, Vincent, Vincent Clay, my collaborators, everybody who's really part of this small inner circle that helps us do what we do. And
to find you, Christian, where would you like people to go to find out?
Probably easiest to go hit me up on the gram at Seskri, Seskri.
And also IMDb if you want to find out all of his latest and past projects, films, upcoming films. Christian, it has been an absolute honor. I want to thank you for being with us today on Power 98.5.
Thanks so much. It was a pleasure.
Hold the line, Christian. We're going to close out. Thank you to everyone who joined us today, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, on the Power 98.5 satellite radio app, Alexa, and we are also on radio.com. We're on streamitter.com, Streama, Radio Line, but yes, we just got picked up, including my radio show, on radio.com, which is one of the top radio platforms out there that host a lot of other well-established, well-known stations. Also, I've got to add in my dear friend or friends, Steve Nava and Angel Cintron, who are two of the most highly sought-after photographers in today's fashion industry, collectively known as Sinava. They are prized for their highly produced editorial images that are creative, edgy, artistic, fresh, and often drawn from their own environment. People, locations, lighting, colors, wardrobe, they combine them all to develop a story that is told within a single image. A shout out to my dear friend and friends in company, Angel Cintron and Steve Nevada. You can contact them at 415-845-3442. You can go to their Instagram at Sinava_photography. Sinava is CINAVA_photography. I hope everyone has a great day. It looks like we're going to be having some rain. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know about you, Christian. I do remember what it was like living in Palm Springs, but we had some 60, 70 degree weather and we were getting some blooms and pollen was already circulating in the air. And now we're supposed to be getting some rain. So I'm very happy that spring is hitting early, and it should be, especially since we had daylight saving time just happen. So what's the weather been like out there in Palm Springs?
It's been nice, sunny, a little bit windy, but yeah, pretty beautiful.
I love the weather there. It was hot though. I prefer summertime. I prefer Vegas heat over Palm Springs heat.
Yep. It's starting to get a little bit humid during the summer sometimes.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Friend us on your socials and let's connect.